If the entire world population was shrunken down to exactly 100 people, it would look something like this. There would be 57 Asians, 21 Europeans, 14 people from North and South America, and 8 Africans. 51 of these people would be female, and 49 would be male. 30 would be considered white, and 70 non-white. 89 would be heterosexual, and 11 homosexual. Only 6 people would possess over 59% of the world's wealth. And all 6 of these individuals would come from the United States. 80 would be living in substandard housing, 70 would be unable to read, and only 1 person would have a college education. So often we fall into a trap believing that the majority of the world is just like us, but really the opposite is true. Observing our world from a compacted view helps us to realize the prevalence of difference and diversity, and gets us one step closer to escaping this confine of thought. One step, however, is not enough. We must gather our willpower and take another step, and another, and another, and another, for as long as it takes. We will require courage. It's a difficult journey, and we will need resilience, for we are sure to stumble or doubt along the way. But above all, it will take initiative. For there will be mountains and opposition, and there will be things and people that will stand in our way. But you are not what has been done to you. You are what you promote and what you stand for, and the lives that you affect. KUNA, I urge you all to promote love and stand for peace. And I know you can affect the world. But above all, I urge you all, do not forget. Do not forget the people that stood by you and the events that shaped you into the person that you are. But more than anything, I beg you, even though there are so many differences that have the potential to separate us, like I pointed out earlier, do not forget that we are all brothers and sisters.
Humankind is this remarkable thing. We've existed as a civilized society for a little more than 2,000 years. We speak a handful of languages most of us can't understand, communicate in a borrowed dialogue of 100,000 meaningless non sequiturs, and rarely, if ever, say what we mean, or worse, mean what we say. We spend thousands of hours over our collective lifetimes buried in our plastic phones, absorbing the linkless, pointlessly flashy BuzzFeed articles, or packing in exuberantly filtered images from places we've never seen or never even cared to see. In fact, an argument can and maybe should be made that these are the darkest times in human history, an era where we are endlessly connected, but have never been so profoundly alone. And yet, here we are. Here we are, debating the issues that matter, raising our hands to fight the forces of stagnation and taking a stance for change. Here we are, caring for those we have never seen, crying out for all the voices that cannot. Here we are, enunciating the words that will define a generation, that mark who we are as a people. Here we are. Pundits call our generation self-absorbed, self-obsessed, unmotivated, unkind, brutally selfish, and brutally lonely. But yet, we are the ones fighting. We are the ones working for a better and brighter tomorrow. Hey, all these things might be true, but maybe they're not. We truly are the masters of our own destinies, the progenitors of everything that matters, the masons that will shape the next generation of human history. So, let us act. Let us not fear the unknown, but welcome it. Let us not run from what we don't understand, but strive to make it known. Let us not tear each other apart, but come together like our forefathers could not. Let us make our future everything they tell us it cannot be. In all of human history, there are moments that matter. Moments that change everything. Moments that redefine us and leave everything we were, everything we thought we were, behind. We are living in one of those moments. The time is now. The time for change is today. Not tomorrow, not a year from now, today. Let us not waste this opportunity. Let us not waste our future.
Though your journey may seem difficult, remember that wherever your heart is, there you will find your treasure. When you want something, all the universe will conspire in helping you to achieve it. The reality is that you will not succeed each time. There will be pain, there will be obstacles, there will be failure. It does not matter how many times you fall, but how many times you get up. Tell your heart that the fear of suffering is worse than the suffering itself, and that no heart has ever suffered when it goes in search of its dreams. When we love and believe in each other, we always strive to become better than we are. When we strive to become better than we are, everything around us becomes better too. Change the unchangeable and remove the unacceptable, for it is you that can bring a new light to each day. Look around you. You are surrounded by the most brilliant of minds, the most generous of hearts, and the most passionate of people. You are each your own Mandela, your own Aung San Suu Kyi. You have made me from a girl that was struggling to find her footing on a path that kept changing to someone who is now flying high above. Instead of looking at my feet, I now look up at the stars and how they shine. You are the stars, smiling, shining bright. While our time together is soon ending, as Paul Coelho narrates in The Alchemist, we are travelers on a cosmic journey, stardust swirling and dancing in whirlpools of infinity. We have stopped for a moment to encounter each other, to meet, to love, to share. This is a precious moment. It is a little parenthesis in eternity.
In your life, you may meet people who are homeless. This isn't to say that people who are left on the streets without a house. These homeless people go their whole lives with nowhere to feel their passions, their drives, and their beliefs. It is our job to make the world our home. When we leave this conference, it is our job to put our passions, our zeal, our ideas into practice in the world, and to have the initiative to share it with the world. Go out, advocate, serve. Do whatever you need to do to make the world your home. If it makes you scared, good. In the words of Keane, the heroes and leaders towards peace in our time will be the men and women who have the courage to plunge into the darkness and face the enemy within. Stand before the people and speak your mind, even if your voice shakes. I will leave you with the words of Lao Tzu. When you are sad, you are living in the past. When you are anxious, you are living in the future. When you are at peace, you are living in the present. Take these words and use them to help you live in your present. Find a way to be at peace. Find a way to make the world your home. For the past 4 years, you all have given me a home. And I could not be prouder to leave this home in your all's hands. Do not let this opportunity go to waste. Take these years and cherish them.
You are a fearless group of people. Over the course of this conference, I've seen so much of what makes it so hard to say goodbye to this place in you. You know, I used to be so scared. And I still am sometimes. I was scared of myself, of what I could be, of what I may fail to do. And it got in the way of a lot of good things for me. And I just don't see that in you. You're not scared. You don't fear your futures. You throw yourselves into them. You think of others before yourselves, and it makes you brave. It makes you willing to stand up and speak on behalf of the people in poverty, the abused, the broken, those victimized by their circumstance. You speak for those people when the rest of the world has gone deaf to their cries. And while the rest of the world stands right on the edge of justice and equality and the hope of a brighter future, you don't stand with them. You step back, you take a breath, and you get a running start. And you leap over that edge. You go first. And you look back at the rest of the world from the other side and you say, change can be scary, I know. But you can make the jump because I did. You know, I'm not scared anymore. I now find peace in thoughts of the future. It's easy for me to be confident about the future of our world because, quite frankly, I'm looking at it. I've seen you as individual ripples and as one united current. And the fruits of your efforts are self-evident. I've seen you storm podiums and microphones and spill into them knowledge far beyond your years. But even more so than that, I've seen you make connections with each other. I've seen friendships form and be solidified. You learn from each other when you're here. And you make one another brave as you call your peers to action. And getting to be a part of that has made me all the more excited for every person who is new to the Y. For every person who is still scared. For every person who still needs to take that step back and to take that breath. Observing and analyzing your performance over the past few days has convinced me that fear is temporary. You will not be scared forever. Entering a conference this size for the first time, that is daunting. But the fact that you made the choice to walk through those double doors assures to me that you are brave even if you didn't quite know it yet. Think about why you came here. Think about why you even got involved in the Y in the first place. Now look around the room. Don't say anything, just look at each other. That, everyone you're looking at right now, that's why I came back every year that I did. And that is why I encourage you to do the same. This moment of reflection over this conference is filled with all of the things that make me so proud to be associated with you and with this program. And for that, I thank you. And as this time of reflection comes to an end, I leave you with one piece of advice. Do not be afraid to fall. For if you have fallen, it means that, if nothing else, you stood for something.